Hello, we are once again trying not to Wordle. This is Don't Wordle for December 14th, 2022. And I'm again going to do the challenge where I'm only going to use words that I actually know. Now, what does that mean? It means these are words that I know outside of word games like Wordle. There's a lot of weird words you learn, like Zilil and things like that, which I'm not going to use because I hadn't heard of those. I really don't remember the definitions well. I've never used them in a sentence, in actual talking or writing. So I'm going to try to limit myself to just words that I would consider to be real words. Now, I know that's a loaded term, but words that I would actually use in, maybe not even day-to-day life, but just multiple times in my life. And I know what it means and I understand it. Okay. So hopefully that's clear. And I'm also going to try my best to not use any undos. I'm going to only use undos if I feel like I absolutely need to. So those are kind of the extra restrictions I'm putting on myself. Let's see how I do. Okay, so I have decided that I'm going to start with fluff today, which uses 3 Fs. I do like a good marshmallow fluff. All right, all gray. That's the best possible result. So maybe I could follow up with poppy, or even something like pizza could be good. I mean, pizza's always good, but using 2 vowels in one guess feels wrong, but we're going to have to start using vowels at some point, and at least it's only one of each. So we might be able to double them up in future guesses. It really depends on what the word is. But getting those Z's in there, where there's probably not a Z in the word, can be extremely useful. Getting an X might be useful as well. But I don't really know a good word that uses like multiple X's or uses uncommon words with the X. There's also jazzy, but I'd like to save that Y. I think Y at the end is really nice to save. So let's try pizza and see where that takes us. It's a weird strategy, but let's do it. Okay, so there's an A in the word, but we can move it around, and at the end is a pretty good place to start that in, because I'm not tempted to put it last very often. So maybe we should start with A now, if we can. It's something to do something like stats. Double T, double S. I mean, it is only 3 unique letters. It tries a new place for the A, obviously, which we have to do. I don't think it's terrible. Maybe I want to do that 4th guess, not 3rd guess, though. I think starting with A would be better for the 3rd guess, because I'm in danger of placing it, and then I have to keep using it there. Middle is a pretty common place for an A. I'm trying to think of a word that starts with A that isn't going to be 5 unique letters, though. I bet you it accepts a chew. It's a weird guess, but that could work out pretty well, assuming we don't place letters. There could be some very bad results from that, but also this could be very good. I've been trying to think of an AQ word, but we don't have the U, so I really can't use the Q. What about an AX? I know there's like axiom or axial, but there's no I, so I'm not allowed to use I. I think I will go with a chew. I'm curious what that's gonna do. All right, well, we have a C now, so now I can't do stats. So what do we want to do here? It's not CH. I mean, the word could be something like crass. It could be something like crack. I feel like there's a bunch more options. Really anything ACK. So like, other than crack, there's rack. Like that. You can like rack your brain for something. I think that's how you spell that. Maybe I should use the S's before I run out of the ability to do so. So like crass with a double S could be good. Although I'm really feeling like with that C, A is probably going to be 3rd. So maybe I should look into a way to make A 4th. Is there an AC word? Because that would be excellent. I don't really know what that would be though. Something like manic would have been great, but I can't use the I. Medic? No, medic doesn't have an A. Medic has an I, not an A. What am I talking about? Something like racer? Double R is okay. I don't know if I want to introduce the E at this point, but I could. It's not as good as putting A 4th, but I really do feel like most of the words are going to have A 3rd. But really, no matter what I do here, I'm going to be locked into A being 3rd, but that means I can use racer now. Is there not anything better than using those R's? Is there a word that, like, does that? like macabre. Macabre is spelled with an R-E at the end, so if that accepted that, I feel like that wouldn't be a real word. I feel like maybe that would be an alternate spelling, but maybe it's not even accepted, so I just won't do it. If I'm not confident, I won't do it. For the challenge reasons. Let's look at this again. There's also something like cagey. Is cagey better than... what was I thinking of before? I don't actually remember. Oh, there's canny. Double N? That could work out well if there's no N in the word. I would really like to put A fourth, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So I think I'm going to go with canny and see where that takes me. Okay, C is first, N is fourth. I have 3 words remaining. That seems like that's bad. So, but let's look at what the word could actually be before we do anything. So crank is very likely the word. Or crane. So we've got crank and crane. And then what would be the 3rd word remaining? It might not be a word I know. C. What goes between the C and the A? Because the A is actually forced third, so we basically have 3 greens. I don't think anything can go between this. Maybe C-E-A-N? That doesn't... If I moved it right 1, I could do ocean. But yeah, not from there. Yeah, I feel like basically we have an R placed second as well. So we're crank, crane, and I wonder if like something like crane. I don't know the word, so I wouldn't be able to guess it, but maybe crane would be the last word. Or like, I don't know, it's not double N. But probably that 3rd word that it's thinking of is not one that I know. Okay, so we're going to assume it's either crank or crane. So I think I have to undo. Because I would guess one or the other, and then I would immediately fail. So let me undo. Unfortunate. Okay, so now I need to avoid C at first, or I'm basically forced into those. So if I did something like rack, I feel like I'm not going to have options left. Because if I do rack, I'm going to have green R, green A, yellow C, and I might even have a yellow K. If I end up with a yellow K, then I know that the word was crank. Or sorry, green K. I would know that the word was crank. So this would tell me if it's crank, but then I'd have to use another undo if it was crank. But then I feel like I'd be just left with crane only anyway. I could do crave. Okay, so if I do rack and it's not crank, so it's still a gamble, but at least it's not a gamble in terms of losing. It's a gamble in terms of having you to use another undo. So if rack has a gray K, then I could continue with crave, but then I think I'd only have crane left. What about crass though? Ah, yeah, okay. So I can do rack, crass, crave, but that's assuming the answer is crane. If the answer is crank, then I have to undo this, but I think it's worth taking the chance. Oh no, yeah. So it's crank. So we have to come up with something else. What if I do... Oh, I can't do crave then crane. I could do crass and then crave and then crave, but then I would only have CRA something something. It would probably just be crank after that. Let's see, crass. Try to visualize this. I'd have crass and then I'd have crave. I just need something right before crass that I can do. Oh, I can't do like an atch word because there's no H, but that would be pretty nice. Maybe there's like an A. See, I could do tacky, right? But then I'd have that K because the answer is crank. So just double checking. Yeah, the answer is crank. So if I don't want to use the K, because I'll have to keep using it. So if I did something like wacky or tacky, I'd have to use the K at the end. I could do crack, so I could do tacky, crack, but then I'd have CRA. Wait, can I do... Maybe I can do that. Can I do, not with Aki, but can I do crass, and then crave, and then crack? I think that's it. Crass, crave, crack. Yes, we survived. Okay, it was right in front of me. Had to use 2 undos, which is unfortunate. One of them was relatively unavoidable. The other one was a a chance that I decided to take, and I lost the 50-50. But that was pretty cool. Now, I am wondering what that third word was that it could have been. After I had 3 left from doing... what is it even that I did? Right, after canny. After canny, I had 3 words left, and I don't know what that third word was. Was it crack? It might have been crack. No, canny placed the N. So I actually have no idea. After crass, it probably should show up. Crake. No, we had an N here. Wait, we had an N placed. It must have been crayons then. Because crass removed the S. So probably crayons is a word. I don't know what that would mean. So I probably wouldn't have used that. But that's got to be it. Okay, cool. Well, I managed to survive with 1 word remaining and 1 word remaining, 3 undos remaining. Pretty nice. Didn't use the wheel today, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. The wheel will return in the future. And so how'd you do today? And if you enjoyed this content, then why not leave a like and subscribe?